Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Game 2 of Myrmidons versus Septem 7. Game 1 did go in the way of Septem 7, however this is Game 2. I'm Hindu, but if you didn't already realise, and alongside me is the Australian man that we sent there because he's evil and deserved to go to prison on his special island, Ranconius. How are you doing today, Rank?
I'm feeling a little bit like a jailed Australian. That's how I'm feeling right now.
That's generally what we do. We send you to the island where the spiders and everything there can kill you, just to make you feel better. But picks and bans coming through for this game. Septem 7 looked pretty strong game 1. Myrmidons made a few mistakes that time round. This time though, they're gonna have the opportunity for first pick. I know the Ymir Athena banned out, as well as Thor and Freya are now first pick available.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We didn't actually see a lot of Freya on the weekend or focus on towards Freya at all. But now she's, you know, in the first two games there was, I think, Freya was touched twice by the Myrmidons. I have a feeling it was the Myrmidons, a recollection it was the Myrmidons. And we didn't see much more. Ymir, obviously, because it's EU, and you know who doesn't love farming to 20 and having the biggest, strongest guy base stat wise. But first pick.
Well, the main thing with Ymir is his early game so strong with the penetration boots as well. I mean, he can go in the jungle, be very damaged and aggressive. He's one of the best jungle camp clearers in the game as well. And with penetration boots, it just boosted him even stronger, not just in the support role, but also in the jungle or even solo to an extent. Freya, though, like you were saying, she's starting to creep back in. People starting to realise that with the changes, she's a little bit more effective. The attack speed being on a lower cooldown means she's going to have a little bit more ability to clear the wave out a little bit quicker. Plus, there's a few other changes too here and there that have really affected her swinging back into the map. But Bellona, first pick for the Myrmidons, and over to Septem 7 it goes with Janus, and immediately Sylvbanus picked up.
Yeah, so this is exactly the same combo that they ran last game coming through from Septem 7. They got the Janus, but in this slot they also picked up the Athena instead, so that's the only difference between their first set of drops, but obviously bend away. This time through 100% again. Neith picking up, but it's going to be in the opposite direction. Interesting to see where they run this one, because it can still be flex pick, but not alongside a Hades.
Yeah, Neith has kind of dropped a little bit again. I mean, the Heartseeker, people started to realise it was really strong. I think it was already strong before people realised everyone was running Heartseeker builds. But Neith, very sustainable, very safe, has global presence. With Devour's Government Store or Transcendence can still be useful, but the Heartseeker changes don't make her as effective as she once was in this role. So a safe pick, and then with Hades being locked in, already Myrmidons is just going for a very safe lineup so far.
Yeah, interesting to see where they go with this one. Hades, you know, wave clear aggression in that solo lane. Be interesting to see what the Septem 7 decide to run into it, to kind of counteract a little bit of lane pressure and whatnot, seeing whether they can get their solo laner online. And we saw Ducky do it last game. He was able to counteract it with the Neith, but the Neith is taken away from him this time around, so he's going to need something with clear.
He's being hovered over at the moment by Septem 7. Now, after the cattle bans came out, Agony, not a surprising one there. Another safe god that Myrmidons potentially would have gone with how they've been looking at this composition. I mean, Hades doesn't generally lose lane. Bellona in the jungle doesn't generally have any very bad matchups. And then there's Neith that, you know, for the most part can play pretty safe. It's going to be Apollo, though, for Septem 7. They're going to choose their priority hunter, and that's going to allow Mogao to pick up that Ares. And that's going to really cause some issues, hopefully, onto Daz's Janus if they can actually find the pick there.
Yeah, obviously not being able to go through portals without beadsing or throwing out your ultimate to remove the CC. It'll be interesting to see how that one does go down. Remember last time around we were at this sort of stage in the draft looking at the side of Septem 7's. Neith was still on the board. They were looking for something into that Hades, right? Not this time around. And it was Septem 7 that were baiting Mogao onto that Hades. Well, do they have an answer this time around? They don't have their same pick. What have they drafted? What would be your call going into a Hades with the draft as it is?
I mean, with Hades in the draft, it's kind of situational. I mean, they're currently hovering over Chaac, as you were saying there, so that's one to pick up because it's a very safe lane for the most part. I feel this game, though, from Myrmidon's standpoint and how they've actually lined themselves up here, it's all about waiting for the mid to late game and get a good team fight off from all of them. I mean, they're going to have Bellona in the jungle that's very good at initiating, Ares to follow that up if required. Same with Hades. And in the backline, you're still going to have to deal with this Scylla that was just picked up as their last pick there. So their mid-late game is looking very, very strong. Across the way, though, Septem 7, if they choose this Chaac, they're trying to nullify some of the pressure coming out from these lanes, and they're going to be looking for the Hun, Batz, Janus to try and link this up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Chaac sort of Hades matchup goes, particularly because it's Mogao's Hades, and we generally expect to kill before the first 5 minutes are out. As soon as he hits sort of level 5 from Mogal, he's going to get a gank coming through from Shock and Smash, and his Shock and Smash is on Bellona, so that level 5 combo is actually really, really brutal between those two.
It's potential, but you've got to be very careful all the time with those, just to do with it, just in case you have the issues of the Gold Fury attempts that can happen when you actually do those rotations over to solo. But with experience being a little bit easier for the jungler to get now, those rotations can happen a little bit earlier and save you from having those issues.
Oh, well, gonna start loading in towards game. Everything's looking good. And we'll take a small break and we'll be right back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be back
This is
in
gonna
a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Game 2 of the Grand Finals, of the Grand Finales, with myself and Ranconius. We're going to be bringing you Myrmidons versus Septem 7. And first thing I want to say, Ranconius, is I see a girdle of power coming out of an Ares, and I see a blink on a Batz. What has been happening since I've been away?
Girdle of Power is going to turn into a Girdle of Support for Ares. This is something that was run a lot, actually, from the Myrmidons, and Bizarre actually ran it as well. So it wasn't a one-off thing. It seems that with Hog falling out of favor, supports are tending to pick up something like this, especially when you got a Scylla on your side for that objective control. You know, it's not as necessary.
I can forgive that on Dardes then for the Girdle of Support, going for the early aggression, fine, but blink on a Batz. I don't get it.
He's just like, I don't need leap. I don't need somersault to get in there. I just gotta blink, and then I'm gonna plant down a totem behind you, and then I'm gonna kill you.
Saw him do it on like Athena, which makes sense, but on a Batz, that's just really strange to me. I'm very confused by that choice. But let's see how they're going to start off the game anyway. Early wards come out from Septem 7. Right-hand side, you can actually see Ducky and Pikachu. This doesn't look like they're going to go for mid-harpies here, or are they? I'm thinking that they might be going for this invade, or maybe a late invade after taking away these right-hand harpies first of all. Meanwhile, everybody else still doing the red buff.
Yeah, well, taking away the harpies, at least, you know, a decent experience spike before you look for an invade or harpies or what, you know, getting to lane early.
They are looking for this invade as well. They'll actually wait for the bludgeon to go off. They know that's on cooldown now. Pikachu's going to walk in, overhand smash, followed by the creeping curse coming out as well. Sorry, the creeping curse, yeah, just going to hit from Ducky as well. Good poke damage. Blue buff gets reset. Not a big win, but enough to delay them from getting this blue buff just yet. And Mogal's health, a little bit too low to try and start this one up again.
And they've got wards as well, so they're going to wait for Mogal from the side of Myrmidons to hit 2. He's going to start being able to heal up before they even think about it. And look at the start as well coming through from Septem 7. They picked up the mid-harpy camps because it gives them just enough XP to hit level 2 of first wave as well.
So they do manage to get first wave, and now you're going to see Pikachu rotate to mid lane to soak up with the mid laner there. Left harpies are still available there. They're not aware of it right now. And still, we're going to see Shock and Smash sit in this lane, and a big rotation come from Septem 7 back for this blue buff one more time, now that they've helped Darza pushing this mid lane.
Yeah, Shock and Smash is going to be the focus immediately up. He's at least used the shield bash to try and get himself a little bit further away, and Ducky's continuing to press that wave. They've got all the zoning they really need, but look at Tynes.
Tynes not going to find the root, but the damage coming out with the crush as well puts Pikachu in a bit of trouble here. That blink isn't going to be very useful right now because you're in combat, son. In hand from Mogal brings him down for the first blood, but Mogal's in a little bit of trouble. In a minion way for the sustain, and now it's Darza with the crush coming out that's going to run.
Darza's portaling through the wall, but Tynes still might have the in-hands. Remember, he's got a red buff. He's going to be able to do it. Shock and Smash with a shield bash. He's going to confirm that one up. Another unstable vortex won't get him the heck out of here. And Mogal lives with a sliver of health, and his blue buff still intact, but not so for Ducky.
Nope, Meredans going to steal away the blue buff now. So this aggression that started from Septem 7 looked good, but it's come back to bite them in the backside now. They're going to lose their blue buff off that. I'm surprised Meredans didn't realize speed was up. Tins, I think, might realise now after he's just... Oh, no, actually, no. He forgot to pick up the blue. Oh, Tins. Good use of his head to know, though, to get it. They could have potentially got speed buff as well, then, but this is giving Myrmidons a really good leg up in this game.
Yeah, a lot of experience already online for them as well. They already picked up their buff, so it's going to be back online a lot earlier. More XP to be trying to pick up in that early game. Darza, no red buff. Lack of any real lane pressure with Shock and Smash and Tins both sitting there, which means it's going to lose that left hand to the Harpies as well.
Yep, those Harpies been up all game. Lots of pickers coming out on the left-hand side, though, potentially looking for a gank there, but I don't think Myrmidons actually want that to happen, it seems. I think that was the jungler calling for the opportunity at the moment, but good little lead for them at the moment. Check experience, it's only 45, but I'm feeling that they're quite confident with how they've played this one out so far, have Myrmidons. They're going to get themselves snowballing a little bit quicker. Level 5's now been reached, and I'm wondering if they'll know if those right Harpies are going to be up.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have the exact timer, but they will ping us immediately onto their map as soon as it does spawn. The Septem 7 going to get themselves 2 sets of Harpy camps at this point in time as well. Wards coming down to make sure that the Times was going to be nowhere near it, so they get total pressure control, and Big Man Tangs is going to rotate to the mid lane as well. This means that Apollo's alone.
Left-hand side, Ares waiting in the wings here, doesn't have Blink available, but he's going to look for a play until Lopez chains do not hit. The root does, however, and Lopez doesn't really panic there, just dashes away back to the safety after the chain missed. Could have been a potential kill, not today though.
Interesting to see that they went for the chains first. Neith could have secured themselves some snares, but they were looking for the aggression to come through and make sure that Lopez didn't fully commit to the trade. Because if he'd fully committed just to go in, you know, and get some nice poke damage on towards the Neith, that's something that they really could have turned back around on towards him.
The game at the moment pretty just expected to go as it is for the time being. After the aggression from Septem 7 being turned on its head, it's now Septem 7's turn to just wait and be patient and look for a pick potential on the Myrmidons over extensions. Build-wise, Transcendence is being worked on by Neith. She's still working on that. Blink is online now for Dardez to go with that no escape, and he's actually waiting in the wings in mid lane here. He might look for a play if you can see there's no beads available, which there isn't right now. He's going to find Pikachu.
Yeah, that's what you get for leaping that far forward. I'm a Monster is going to come through and do a massive amount of damage on towards Pikachu, but he's still living through here, through space and time.
Really
well
good
done.
use of space of time from Darza there in the mid lane just to get Pikachu out. He could have potentially got away anyway, but it was the better, safer option to go for. And you're going to be able to see Pikachu just have enough HP just to return to his jungle, clear down that red buff, give himself some HP before going back to base as well. So it was a two ults for 2 ults pretty much in that mid lane, and no kill comes of it.
Yeah, so it's interesting to note that at that point in time, Scylla obviously not going to have a huge amount of burst damage at level 7. She's going to continue to scale up, so don't get too worried about her not being able to pick up that kill at that point in time. That was her full combo. She can't really do too much more than that. And Pikachu, he's always safe as well. One of the safer junglers in Batz, because if he's ever in trouble, just drops the Fear No Evil and he's a lot safer.
Mogar on this Hades, he's played it a lot. If anyone's ever seen EU before, you'll know Mogar has an Hades to be played, and he's going to go very aggressive with a Book of Toth pickup this time round early on. So keep an eye on his damage. He's not going to be the tankier version of a Hades just yet. He's actually looking for raw brute strength in this, and I think he's just trying to capitalize on the very small situation that his team's got right now, where they're not as slow as they first thought they would be.
Yeah, and he did run this build last game, and went. He obviously had to split and go in towards Boots before he could come back and finish the Book of Thoth, because he wasn't far enough ahead. Interesting to see him, you know, as soon as he's ahead this game, that's his build route, that's his optimized build route for a Hades, and he's able to trade in a 2v1 situation and come out on top as well.
He had the minion wave there with him, he wasn't too scared, he knew Fear No Evil was probably down, but Blink initiation from Dardez, they're going to go aggressive on Pikachu, force those beads already, shock and smash though, does get a kill on the left, and decides to be tuning with that one, the fight's still going.
They're gonna get that last in-hand to come through from Darza, and they did get the Wrath of Terror on towards Shock and Smash. He's gonna be able to trade back very effectively with Darza, but not so Big Man Tings, and he retreats.
Tins is still chasing onto Pikachu through the mid here, and Pikachu is gonna get away, but lose the minion. I'm a Monster does not connect either. Tins not finding the abilities, and now he may get caught out.
He's got no cooldowns left, and Fear No Evil's going to reinitiate that fight. Down comes the Sentinel, trying to get him the heck out of here, but Darza's there with the Unstable Vortex, secures that, and that's what you get for going way too aggressive into that jungle.
Too greedy overall from Tins there. Tried to chase down Pikachu, didn't find the ability. If he would have found it, would have been fine. Apollo, though, left-hand side, does force Shock and Smash away, so going to be able to steal away the purple buff as well from Myrmidons. So that game plan did not work out so well for them. A couple of kills that just went for free.
But the problem here right now for Lopez is he's in a scenario where he's forced to 100% use autos to clear that wave. Neith can counter that out. She's got Transcendence online. She's got enough mana. She can Spirito. So pressure is going to maintain in Myrmidon's side on towards his left-hand lane. But that's what you expect when you pick an Ares and Neith.
Yeah, I mean, you expect that all time and time again. Just looking for the extra pressure as much as possible. Achilles Spear, sorry, Achilles Spear. What did I say? Achilles Spear. I meant Igval has been finished by Bellona at the moment. So her damage should increase now with those boots online. 2-0-1. But Ducky just getting a solo kill on Mogao there. Did not expect to see that one go down there. Mogao overstayed his welcome and Ducky made him pay. He asked him a question and Mogao didn't have an answer.
No, instead, Ducky actually told him to be quiet and wasn't allowed to cast spells at that point. And, well, you know, that's what happens when you're a Hades and you can't cast spells. You're relying on that healing coming through from the Blight stacks. Left-hand side of the map, Pikachu's going to look for a gank on towards Argyle.
He blinks in, but he's not got an ultimate available right now, trying to force the backflip, which happens, then he leaps on top of him. Then the Fear No Evil just came up in the right time as well. Pikachu's timing of his ultimate to actually gank there was fantastic, as he didn't have it up when he first initiated, but he knew it was up soon.
Yeah, but he did have a blink, and he wanted to blink aggressively. He got that down. We've seen the blink come to fruition now, and it's only on a 70-second cooldown for a little while longer as well. Dardes is blinking mid lane, looking for a little bit more aggression.
He did, but then nobody else really there to back him up. Good pull from Big Man Tings though, but no follow-up from any team as we go back to farming once again. God Fury Control is towards Septem 7 right now. They've got themselves a 2,000 experience, or nearly 3,000 experience lead, I should say, have Septem now. They're just out farming Myrmidons over and over again, but Dardes, look out behind, sorry, Darza, look out behind you.
Yeah, Darza's in a world of hurt right now. He's got the through space in time. Is he going to get out of there? No.
I feel sick.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Was that like a 1,000-unit Ares ultimate?
So what he actually did then is he used the chains, forced out the through space and time, and then ulted afterwards as Ares with the no escape, because then the immunity is gone from the Janus, and Janus came all the way back. Darza did not want to be there, and he paid the iron price.
Take a look at his cooldowns as well. His purification beads, 20 seconds away from cooldown. He was literally 2 waves away from having that back up. He would not be happy.
Yep, left harpies did go in the favour of Myrmidons. You can see Shock and Smash going to swing around for the red buff to join up with Tins here as well, who they're not doing too bad for themselves. Tins with a little bit of a misplay that we saw earlier was his only first death of the game. And at the moment it's still 1,500 experience advantage as the gold relatively still even.
Interesting to see the groupings towards the left-hand side of the map right now. Septem 7 are going to start up this Gold Fury. They do have a little bit of lifesteal.
They can hear it through the wall. That's what Shock and Smash and Dardes just heard. Now they're going to initiate, trying to save it. Septem 7 get the Gold Fury, but how's the fight going to go? Fear No Evil comes out from Pikachu. The knock-up onto Dardes puts him in trouble. But Shock and Smash on the front line trying to shut down Lopez. He's going to go down to the crush, but through space and time from Darza. Destroys one in response. Portal usage for Big Man Tings, but he walks into Tins.
Yeah, and Tynes still doesn't have his ultimate up in the middle of this fight, but it doesn't really matter. Shock and Smash is going to secure Tings. Can't get through that portal from Darza. He's not going to be able to get through and get to safety this time around. But some really nice ultimates coming through from Darza. He is, like, sniped 3 kills so far in this series.
But good work from Myrmidons. Look at the gold differential right now. It's still only 700 in favour of Septem 7 here, even though they just lost the Gold Fury. I mean, the Gold Fury, obviously it scales nowadays, guys. It's not as big as it was, but you can see the jump back up once again in terms of gold that came out there. Quick pause coming out from Big Man Tings here. He clearly just having a quick moment with his team of like, guys, that was not nice. You let me die. You left me alone. That's not nice. And Ducky and Lopez were both upset for not being in the fight, so they just DC'd in anger. That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Ducky's going to reconnect now and come back in towards this game. And he's doing exceptionally well on this right-hand side of the map. He's up 400 gold at this point in time, and Heavy Hammer is going to be the focus in build path coming through from him.
Well, back in we go. Right Harpies do get taken down by Shock and Smash there. He's currently doing a good job for himself in the jungle on this Bellona, though. 3-0 and 2 level, 12 already. So ahead of the solo lane on his own team, as well as the mid laners too. So keeping well ahead, and that's what we're starting to see from the junglers now. Rank is that with the experience in the jungle, a lot of pressure they can put out.
Yeah, and look at the levels on both of them. They're very much identical to their mid laners as well. They're not anywhere near as fall behind, just a little bit fall significantly behind. You know, they're keeping it very, very level. Pikachu's 1 behind, but it's not much, and he'll be leveling that up in just a few seconds.
The only thing I don't agree with from Myrmidons here is not running a single hog in the game. I know they've got a Scylla for late game for an I'm a Monster to try and steal away and execute the Fire Giant or the Gold Fury, but it's still a risky situation to be in. Nobody has hog on their team whatsoever, and that could come back to punish them if Big Man Tings can find a big play for a secure.
Yeah, but they're also looking as well for a lot of damage to come through from Tynes, because Girdle support, still a late game burst damage, it's insane, and a 20% bonus to that. Rota Tahuti's going to be so crucial to their lineup, and Mogar's going to make a huge benefit.
He's not going to benefit right now as Pikachu did come in for that gang finally. Left-hand side, though, Harpy's being contested. Initiation comes out from Sock and Smash. Doesn't manage to find the route from Scylla, but the Crush does. Tins, though, going to be able to chase down thanks to the nice World Weaver coming out from the solo lane, sorry, from the duo lane. And Dardes brings himself down the kill, burning the tree.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tins is going to miss the armor once for part of that. Daz is getting engaged upon again here. Does he have the through space and time to dodge it? No, he's got beads this time around, but Shock and Smash has not got a health bar, and now it's going to be the focus on towards Dardes. Oh, across the skies, Pikachu's still going to live! No, he's not. He's going to die.
Dardes does make it at least even and takes his life with himself as well. Neith rotating over to meet Lopez here. Tins, full health in the mid lane too. So casualties for both teams here. Tins needs to be careful. Sorry, Darza needs to be careful of Tins there. But he'll get away for the time being. And with the rotations, it'll cease to exist. The fight went relatively even in the end.
Yeah, but look at the immediate rotations back out from Septem 7. They're going to make the most of the side lane experience whilst everyone else is dead. Ducky's going to shove a wave into tower. Lopez is going to pick up a bunch more experience, and Gold on this left-hand side going for the little things to Septem 7, and it's working out so far.
Working out so far, 30 minutes in, 8-8, 1-0 at the moment is the scoreline to Septem 7. It's best of 3 for this finals, and if you're not aware, the winner will get the opportunity to face off against upcoming stars. The losers will face up against Night's Watch for their shot in the relegation battles.
Yeah, so it's that on the line. It's also $1,000 in cash, but most importantly, Hindu, it's those gem prizes, the difference in those.
Who cares about cash? It's all about the pride. That's what it is. Getting to the SPL is where it's all about. Lopez trading off with our kill over on this left-hand side. There's a rotation coming in from Dardes in this Ares, but guess what? He's got backup.
Yeah, he's got a blink and he's going to be able to get out of here. The focus goes down towards him once again with the Fear No Evil. Do they have the damage? He's got one chain. He won't get the second. Then the dot damage is still took him. But so damn beautiful is that skill shot from Lopez.
Tins is going to swing around the side, but they've got a ward there. Spot him out already. Not going to find the damage that he wants. Tins going to have to back away for now. Bellona, though, in the mid lane. Played by Chaac and Smash. Going to try and push that one and force Darza back. And Mogau's rotating over here as he's pushed in the tower. They won't find anything for now, though, as he just goes back to farming. But a good pick from Septem 7.
Yeah, great pick. And then, you know, it's Dardes that was looking for the aggression there. He was trying to get the gank off on towards Lopez, but they were comfortable with Lopez pushing up from the side of Septem 7. They wanted to bait out the rotation from Dardes, and it works. It works and it gets them a kill.
So just to be clear, both these teams have qualified to face off against the two bottom teams from the SPL, Night's Watch and upcoming stars. This game is all to do with seeding of who they will face off against and actually claim themselves the Challenger Cup victors this time round. We'll have the North American version on Saturday due to the issues we had over the weekend. But for the moment, it's 1-0 to Septem 7, but it's still pretty close.
I don't think we had any issues. I think Smite Game Radio was cracking on for an extended period of time and delayed the Challenger Cup through that.
That's what happens with Smite Game Radio. Sometimes the music and sultry tunes take too long. Septem 7, though, at the moment, swing around this left-hand side for the Go Fury one more time, like a four-man army. They do have full ward vision. Darz is waiting again. Sorry, Dodd is waiting again for a pick, but he's going to find out the second time in a row that they're doing the Go Fury. And this is Septem 7 abusing the fact that Myrmidons don't have a hog.
Yeah, 100%, and look at the rotation to come through from Ducky as well. Mogau's still on the right-hand lane. He's looking to try and put some tower pressure down now that they've reset that Gold Fury. He would have started rotating otherwise, but it's going to force Ducky to rotate out. Nice little bit of poke
Mogau's going to get the tower on the right-hand side. We're going to see Chaac disengage for a second. Mogau gets the tower. They're going to go for Gold Fury again here, Rank, and I think Septem 7 should just stick to this and just use zoning of Tins.
But down goes that girdle of support as well. They're looking for a little bit of aggression. Shock and Smash jumps a long way forward. Big Man Ting's got focused out though.
Good Hammer Monster coming out over the top from Tins. Going to secure that kill, and now they're going to continue the chase. Our kill, he still watches HP. Tins leading the front line. Mogau now swinging over here too. And Myrmidons are the ones that come out on top in that engagement. Chaac on his way back over his Ducky, but can he get here in time? Lopez is here. The support is down. There's no Hog 3. So it's all about who can burst at the end. Darzano going to meet a chain. Going to be a second one. He's going to get burned. No, he's not, because he gets mezzed out. Good body blocking from Lopez to save his buddy. His Shock and Smash going to continue the chase, but Dardes is in trouble now as Ducky's trying to land the axe. He does find the question to it, but the Gold Fury still stands.
Yeah, and look at that kill coming through. They turn and focused beautifully on towards Lopez as soon as he initiated there. They get the catch on a Ducky. He's dead. Mogau's going to pick up the kill finally.
And now they're going to get left Harpies. I don't think they can do Gold Fury though, because once again, Big Man Tings is online with this Hog 3. This is the issue where you're running these compositions without a Hog 3. You risk in the fact that somebody could potentially steal. Unless you've got a big burst damage available to you, well, someone can walk in with an unstable vortex and end it pretty quickly. Got a quick DC coming out from Ducky here. He was clearly upset with his play, so he threw his keyboard on the floor and it broke. So he's just getting a quick replacement for that. And we'll be back with this game one more time. But so far, this is still pretty even for a game 2.
Yeah, this is still incredibly even, considering how far snowballed game 1 was at this point. The major difference here at the moment's gold lead, it's only 1,300 up, and XP is only 800 up, so, you know, Myrmidons have swung it back in their favour. Septem 7 had a significant XP lead a little bit earlier on, but they've now swung that back around with that previous fight.
With the previous fight, indeed. Ducky, now back online, has picked up a weakening curse to try and deny a little bit of the sustain coming out from Mogao. Some of it will be coming out as well from the unravel of Arkil, but for the most part, it's to try and shut down Mogao from healing himself back up, and he's not done bad work so far, even with an Ancile picked up as well. One of those items you've not seen too often, but not as bad as a lot of people think nowadays, because it does start with some nice power and magical protection.
Yeah, but he's going to get onto double stacking at this point in time as well. So his late game is going to be huge potency, and it combos incredibly well with that girdle of support that they've picked up on towards Dardez's Ares. As soon as he swings that Rod to Hootie online, maybe an Ethereal Staff to combo in there, he's getting all that magical damage increase. That's going to be insane later on when you combo that with a bonus 20% from the girdle of support. But Blink in the mid lane.
Yeah, Dada's just found a chain, but he's not going to follow up too much more from that one. So just back away for now. Doesn't really panic anybody in the mid lane, though. Darza did have no beads available, though, and if they would have realized that, they could have looked for a little bit more from that one. But played it safe, and obviously through space and time was available for Darza as well. We need to start talking to these EU pros about putting DAR in their name. It's starting to get annoying now, because there's too many.
Yeah, way too many. Darza.
Ow, Darza, that hurt a lot. That root crush combo from Scylla. Bytins just destroyed 75% of his HP now. And once again, the boys of Septem 7 trying to swing around left for the red buff, but they might get chased down here by the Myrmidons.
Yeah, Myrmidons know exactly where they are, and Darza's going to find a portal to keep them zoned away for a meantime. They get the red buff confirmed, but now they're looking for the ultimate on towards Darza. Great combo with the I'm a Monster, and they might look for something else as well. No escape's down.
No escape is down. The double dunk is not on target from Tins. Great knockup from Big Man Tins, but still the Pikachu will fall. Now Lofez from the backside has to disengage. A little bit late on the rotation there. Big Man Tins, though, does pull Shock and Smash back into tower. He's probably going to die because Dardez is coming in there with the chains to burn that flesh down one more time. Left hand side, Lofez has to use the Across the Skies to get out of the engagement. Maybe he'll swing right. No, he won't, but talking about right, what's up with Ducky?
Ducky's not doing all that well compared to Mods. Mogal throws an axe and grabs it over the wall. He's still looking to run out of here. Rain Dance at least going to top him back up for now, but I don't think he can handle another combo. But in the meantime, Myrmidons are just like turning and burning on towards this Gold Fury.
They get the Gold Fury down as well, so Myrmidons in that little skirmish around that red buff have just catapulted themselves into a substantial lead now. If you look at the graph there, it just shot up to 4,000 experience, 3,500 gold, and just that one little engagement.
And that was all coming down from Darza's health bar. They went for that red buff and they saw them leave. Septem 7 got to be a little bit more careful. There wasn't... no, that ward was there coming through the Sentry ward, entering towards their red buff. They got the portal out.
They had it, they dropped their buff, and they managed to disengage, but then on the way back, the decision to use the World Weaver from Neith to actually just chase on to Darza put him in a world of pain. There was no escape for him there, and he ends up going down because of it, because the I'm a Monster came across the top.
Yeah, what a beautiful combo. Unfortunately, Tyne's not able to land it with his support, and Dardez walked through a little bit too far backwards, otherwise he would have set up another
play
bunch
mid
more.
lane onto Shock and Smash. They go for a big play onto him. Root combo, beads with force. He's going to be able to jump away from that one, though. Get himself out for the time being, but no escape lands onto Big Man Tings.
Yeah, and he's going to get dragged back in. Look at the damage from my Monster. World Weaver comes through as well, but it's the Crush that secures that one up. The next focus will be Pikachu. Ducky's here as well, but so is Mogao.
Mogao is here, just fearing away Ducky, making sure he can't re-engage. Right Harpies do go down. Mogao was looking for more there, not going to find anything for the time being. But at the moment, the big thing to talk about for me is the Hunter lane matchup right now. It's still skirmishing, but I feel Arkill's having the better win of this, as he's getting the better of the fights, better of the farm, and being more involved in the action, as mid lane's being pressured.
Yeah, Mogal's going to dive underneath that tower and pick up one. He's looking for the Pillar of Agony. Not going to get that one, unfortunately, because, you know, Somersault out is just a little bit too broken when compared to a Pillar of Agony. Ducky's rotating around, but they're going to lose this mid tower, and they're starting to bleed a little bit of objectives at the moment from Septem 7.
Yeah, a little bit of a lead has been established now. Mugger with this rotation, double stacking Warlock, Sash, and Book of Toth. And he's nearly finished off that Spear of the Magus too, so his damage is going to be insane right now. And you could also see Bellona in the jungle has finished Chinsei's. Don't forget, Chins did get buffed this patch, not in terms of his damage potential, but just in terms of how cheap it was. They made it cheaper, and that means it's more effective and more viable to pick up.
I mean, it is more effective, more viable to pick up, but the damage didn't get buffed on it enough. And looking at the composition that they're into, I mean, it could be viable here. Sovereignty online. Look at all that health coming through from the Warlock Sash, depending upon where he goes for that sort of later portions of that combo from Mogao. It could be a combo, but left-hand side, the focus was on towards Lofez.
Not enough.
Oh.
Well, maybe Smash can make it though. He's looking for the overhand there. He's going to find it. He did have enough for the skirmish to just chase and do it. Darza though, going to get surrounded by 4 now. Already used the through space and time. Chains landed from Dardes, and now he's going to put on that power girdle and burn the flesh of the little Janus. He's going to get hit by Armor Monster.
Quite able. Tynes gets the secure though, and now he's going to reset. He's going to focus on towards Pikachu. Doesn't quite kill him off, but he's so damn close. They just need to secure a little bit more. Crush will do that one, but Argyle steals it away from his mid laner. And now they're forced to try and get on towards Big Man Tings. Can they do it?
Oh, Dardes is going to get a little bit low from that, but it'll be fine for now. Big Man Tings is going to try and counter away. Does fall down to the wayside. This should be a tier 1 time on the left-hand side as well now for Myrmidons, as they're starting to win every engagement from this standpoint going forward, Rank.
Look right as well. Mogao's going to go in on towards Ducky. Unfortunately, that weakening curse was popped, and down comes the silence from Ducky. He might get the one-on-one on towards Mogao. Yeah, the enhance going to confirm that one for Ducky. He gets it.
And that's a surrender throw from Mogao, I'm sure. Mogao's like, get me out. Get me out. I'm done. Get me out. I just lost lane as... No, I didn't lose lane, but I just died against a Chaac as Hades. Get me out. Get me out. I'm done.
Oh, he's done. It was all that weakening curse, though. That set of blight stacks that he was looking to heal up off on towards Ducky and that minion wave. Ducky baited him in with that. He got the Rain Dance to heal himself back up enough, and then just dropped the ultimate and was so much better off being able to cast his spells against a spellcaster.
So we've got about a minute now to the Gold Fury respawns one more time. Just checking in with player damage right now. You can see top of the shop, it's all members of Myrmidons. We've got Neith up there with 15k. Scylla sat right behind, played by Tins, doing a good job for himself at the moment. 5-1 and 14. Been involved in many of these kills. And across the way, Mogao, he's not been big on the rotations, but when he has turned up, he's been involved in the burst into Darza there once again in mid from Tins. Ouch, that hurts.
He can't take that. That's just one combo, right? That's just one set of sick. I mean, if Tins had opted to go for the Armor Monsters to secure there, I mean, the snare was down. All he had to do was just land it. He could have put the circle centered right there on towards Darza, but Darza's suffering at the moment. He can't get in there. He gets tagged up by some abilities, and he's next to gone. He's got to find a way to make sure that he can safely spit out some damage from those unstable vortexes.
And Gold Fury just spawning now. Myrmidons did just position themselves to clear out the wall coverage chains from Dardes, lands in mid onto Big Man Tings, but he needs to watch himself as he's not got much backup just yet. As now we do see Shock and Smash come round as well, and the collapse is starting to happen for Myrmidons.
Yeah, they got the ultimate on towards Pikachu, and he eats an Armor Monster to the face. World Weaver as well, but at least he's got the beads to keep himself alive. Great Feel no evil, but next engage is going to be going on towards Ducky. He's already at half health.
They're still trying to focus Ducky, but he's got the ultimate, going to disengage as well. Lofez swinging round. He will go down to the crush from Tins, though, as he does manage to find that route. Mogao going to jump in on the backside, looking for Darza, though. Can't find the auto attack for the fear, but he's going to pull Darza in close to his wasted time forced. Lofez charged into 4, and Lofez is no longer there, as Tins finds another kill.
Yeah, that's why you don't cross the skies in towards the backline. Shotgun Smash eats an overhand smash from Pikachu, but it does nothing. They secure this mid lane tower. They're looking to get out of here for now, and Septem 7 have got other ideas, but then again, this right-hand tower is incredibly low as well.
They're going to look for the right-hand tower here, trying to zone away the team. Dodd is blinking in, going to try and find the chains onto Pikachu, which he does, followed by the blinking from Tins to secure the route and bring him down. That should be a tier 2 tower on the right-hand side now as well for Myrmidons, as they've really started to pick up the speed of this game.
Yeah, look at the kill difference now. They were a lot closer only 5 minutes before coming through from Septem 7, but now they're only half of Myrmidons' kills, and they're bleeding objectives. They haven't picked up a tower of their own. They've only got one Gold Fury, and Myrmidons answered one back after a really nice team fight, and their only tower standing on the map is in this left-hand lane. They've got to do something about getting that farm or objectives or something online. If they rushed for a Fire Giant now, it would have to be a rush. They've got the ward control.
Honestly, this game all comes back to that red buff invade that we saw happen. The game was still balanced on a knife edge then, and we saw that red buff invade. They managed to pick up 4 members of the team, one after the other, and Septem 7 just haven't been able to recover since that moment happened to them. And that's when they've really started to fall to the wayside, and the longer this game goes on, I said, like, when we see Myrmidons start to group up, their team fight composition, very, very strong. And especially when Tind is 8-1-14 with his current build, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially when this Rodder Tahuti gets finished too.
Yeah, Rodder Tahuti, Godler support. So much bonus power going to be running across that team. But look at the left-hand lane. Shock and Smash is looking for kills over here. And Lopez didn't just base out. He caught a whiff of somebody hanging around
Rotation
the wayside.
right, though, for Mogao. He knows, though, because he stepped on a ward. They're going to have to deal with him. Daza floating on the side, so Mogao can't escape. They're waiting for Ducky to turn up, too. Mogao realizes his bad situation. Beads early. Turns damage back onto Daza, looking for the full 1-1. Daza, who has to run away. Daza does manage to get out, but Gold Fury goes on the other side as Dardes is good to find a kill. No, he's not. Onto Daza. Great work from them to disengage.
Yeah, that was a really nice Agent's Pendant coming through, but Dardes is a long way forward now, and he's still comfortable being there with the Searing Flash. They finally just get a root coming through from Big Man Tings on towards him, and they're still looking for the disengage with Shock and Smash on the side, but they might go for him.
I don't think they will, because the engage happens again from Tins with the blink over the wall, looking for Pikachu. Not going to find him for now. Shock and Smash still chasing down, looking for the bludgeon. Finds it, connects to the back of the head like a big old meat cleaver. Now Ducky, though, trying to reinitiate.
Yeah, not sure if he's going to be able to do so at this point in time, because look at the team, they're all starting to burn low. Ducky's going to find one with the assistance of Daza. It's going to be Daza to pick up the kill, but Dardes, look at where he's sitting on the backline, and Mogao just comes back in and says, hello, goodbye, Ducky.
Though, coming in on the backside, looking for Tins, doesn't find the full damage. Can he find the enhance to bring down Tins? No, Tins disengages. Lopez going to group up onto Mogao. He's going to the front line after disengage. They do find Mogao in the mid lane, though. What's going on there? We can see Neith continuing to pressure, and she's on the way over, but Dardes might die first.
Dardes does die first, but now Arkyle's rejoined this one, gets snared up, and a fight's starting to go Septem 7's way. They get a portal through the wall for Lopez, and he's doing what he can on towards Arkyle.
Help me. Poor Arkyle. Just gets stuck in the wall like, well, rip. I can't do anything else. Good engagement, though, from Septem 7. They managed to pick up themselves up with some kills, buy themselves a little bit of time. Potential right now for them to try and go for a fast fire giant would have been an option here, but they're choosing the safer option of just trying to push out their lanes here. That would have probably been the best call, especially with the respawns being so long right now.
Well, they're just going to have to do what they can from the side of Septem 7. Mid lane focused down. Will they manage to be able to get more than one tower? That's the real question. If they can get 2 towers and get them safely, it's going to be a huge gold swing and something that they desperately need.
Something that they desperately need, but 100 gold to each member is not going to be that much as they do bring down that mid lane tower. They may be swinging around for the fire giant now. They've got control with a sentry ward here. Daza going to swing around and drop a ward over near the speed buff entrance to see if they can see them coming. Shock and Smash, though, going to know it's up. He's going to be seeing it getting done. No Hog 3 on the side of Myrmidons. Remember that one. And Septem 7, though, still looking for a pick.
Yeah, they're forced off the fire giant as Shock and Smash comes in and lands directly on towards Pikachu. He's doing what he can. Worldweaver's on Lopez as well, so he's about to get stunned out, and Tynes is there for the combo. First kill is going to come down over on towards him, or does it? Because Lopez is still alive on the right-hand side.
Tins just managed to find it with the monster, though. He's not going to find a follow-up kill. Dawes is going to disengage now as the team's still chasing on with Shock and Smash on the front line. With that heavy hammer and that chins, he's going to chop down that big freaking tree. The tree trying to run for his life as the monkey tries to support, but the monkey's in trouble too, so he has to leave the engagement. Chaac jumps to the backside and finds a portal that's no longer there, and he's going to meet Neith.
And look at where Daza is on this left-hand side. He's still spurt pushing as Arkyle's trying to finally finish off Ducky. We'll get the enhance to secure that one. They can turn and burn towards the fire giant. They can push the Phoenix. The choice is really all theirs because there's no Daza here, and there is no through space and time for him.
He might be able to get the tier 1 tower, but they will lose the fire giant at the same time here. 30 minutes in this game, and Myrmidons are looking to make this one a 1-1 situation, which will bring us into the last game to work out who's going to be our finalist this week.
Well, Fire Giant traded off for a tier 1 tower. I know which one I'd rather have at this point in time, but they needed the gold from the side of Septem 7. They needed something. They lost the fight. They had to go for something. It was the least that they could do. Daza knew. He just can't be anywhere around that Fire Giant pit, or else he'd be another one in the kill column for the Myrmidons. So, does something safe, at least get something on the board, and waits for his team to respawn. Is there a point where Septem 7 can find some nice catches and turn this one around.
They can defend their Phoenixes if they get a good engagement off. They have the initiation ability of both Sylvbanus and of this Hon Batz. They can really have them out. And they've still got Chaac as a front line to silence them as well if they need it. They can try and make a stand out of Phoenix, but they have to do it soon. They can't just let the lanes get all pushed up by the Myrmidons at the same time, which is what will generally happen. There's not a whole lot they can do, I guess, about that. But when they do get to these Phoenixes, they have to defend the first Phoenix and defend it well.
Well, gonna start pressuring down the lanes. Be interesting to see which way they go first. Left-hand tower, obviously. Still up, still safe. Let's just remove that from the map. More gold, more experience across the team. But it's only Dardes that needs the experience at this point in time. He's the only one not level 20. There's two on the side of Septem 7 that aren't level 20, so experience lead.
Experience doesn't really matter right now. It's all about gold, and the Fire Giant is the big thing. But gold of 13,000. Here we go. What Septem's going to do? Blinking from Pikachu. Going to force 3 away, but Dardes on the other side blinks it himself. Gets a good no escape off. Followed by the Crush Root combos. Goodbye, Donkey. Quack, quack. Oops. Where's the Iron Monster? Not going to connect as Big Man Tings already goes down. Blinking from Tins looking for more. He's not going to find it though as they're in the fountain right now. But will they manage to get the Phoenix?
They're starting to work on towards it. Phoenix is going to fall, but it's Pikachu and Lopez, and no ultimate to come through from Pikachu yet. It's either he already burned that one across the sky. He's going to have to do what he can from the side of Lopez. It's no more damage than he can handle, and he's going to drop.
They are going to drop it. The Titan does fall down. Myrmidons make it 1-1 in this best of 3. Great work coming out from the Myrmidons to bring themselves back into this one.
Yeah, I mean, just really, really nice play. Mogai got counted out in that lane last time around. I mean, he did kind of go almost level, but he was just enough behind from Ducky, able to make the Hades work. The rest of the team didn't fall enough behind for him to kind of be worthless this time around. They did play exceptionally well, and you mentioned it, down to that red buff play. If they didn't go for that, they would have still been sitting in this game.
Yeah, they could have still been in it if they could have kept that going for a little bit longer, but that red buff invade just worked out so well for the Myrmidons. They kind of catapulted from there. Good shout out to Tins, though. He played that pretty well. He, abandoned... This is what you have to do with Scylla sometimes. Abandon your team if they're going to die, just to make sure you can live and sit on the backside, because that's what you're trying to do, is just poke from the backside as much as possible. And sometimes it works out well for you, and other times your team gets crushed, but that game, pretty well played from Myrmidons. We'll see what they can do in Game 3, though, and see what Septem 7 choose to bring out as well. We'll be back in a moment, guys, with that one.